Robert Douglas at Nisse Sauerland. Obviously here for the World Boxing Super Series Series 2. How's things?
Yeah, everything's very good, very good.
Yeah, so obviously all excited for the Series 2, and obviously that's kicked off, and that's underway at the minute. Just want to start about sort of reflecting on Series 1 really, and sort of where you've seen that sort of, obviously at the start the idea, how you've seen that progress, and sort of how it turned out. I think it was an overall success. I think it's created 2 megastars. Yeah. But on reflection, what was sort of your take on the first series?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely a few trials going on, you know, with the injuries and this and that, and people like with the reserves and this, you know, but all in all, I think it was a massive success for us. It was something we worked on for 3 or 4 years in the making, getting the brand right, getting the trophies right, getting the, you know, everything from the count back if it was a draw, and you know, just all the rules, the handbook, and you know, like I said, the brand, getting Muhammad Ali involved, I think which actually makes the brand even more special. So if I look back on it, it was a great success. I mean, if you think we started, you know, in everyone's fighter's hometown, and we ended in Saudi Arabia, you know, where, you know, we brought the first ever boxing fight ever of all time there. I think it's a great success.
I think as well, in terms of, you know, the brands of the fighters and what it's been able to do for their careers. You know, obviously Callum Smith in this country obviously got a good brand anyway, but obviously he's ended the tournament as a world champion. But Usyk as well, his awareness in this country, and he's almost become a megastar overnight. I think if you go maybe 12, 18 months back, did people know who Usyk was outside of, you know, hardcore boxing fans? Probably not. So he created 2 megastars there, and obviously off the back of that, Usyk's got a mega fight against Bellew. So it's amazing what the World Boxing Super Series brand has done for the fighters brand, and I suppose that's an incentive going forward for other fighters now to join and get involved.
Well, I think, you know, if someone like, let's say, Josh Taylor wins the tournament, you're going to see he'll be #1 fighter in the UK. You know, maybe next to Joshua, but he will be suddenly, you know, if he wins these next 3 fights, he's going to be a massive superstar, household name. You know, Scottish hero. You'll be parading around the streets. I'm telling you. So if you see, like you say, if you see what it did for Usyk, and actually, I think for Callum, it's made him a lot bigger. You know, they're talking about doing Anfield next year. I don't think there would have been talk about that before the tournament. So I think, if anything, it'll make fighters more eager to join the tournament. Not just for the money, of course the money is good, but also for that star, that star status that they can achieve.
And when you started out with the idea of the World Boxing Super Series, I mean, what was sort of like the 5-year vision of that, if you like, of where you see it going? Obviously, you know, we've got 1 season underway, it's a massive success, we've got the 2nd season underway now, but in terms of a 5-year plan, like where do you actually see that being at the end of the 5 years?
More weight classes, even more. We got 3 this year, 2 last year. We want, you know, what the idea was at the beginning is we want all promoters to be happy to put their fighters into our tournament. Because it's not about, it's about Camosa. It's nothing to do with us. You know, it's about, let's say, a FIFA or a UEFA. You know, that's what we wanted to create, an independent body for boxing, and has a trophy which is totally independent and doesn't ruin the ecosystem of boxing, because it's a beautiful sport that we love, and we've worked in, we've grown up in it. We don't want to do that. We don't want to challenge other promoters. We just want to give them the opportunity to put their guys into their tournament for 1 year, and I think we've achieved that. We're working with all the promoters again this year from around the world, and I would say 5-year plan. Wembley Stadium. Awesome. Wembley Stadium.
Well, there's no reason.
A heavyweight Super Series.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason why not. As well as you say, you know, with Callum Smith, you know, talking about obviously an Anfield fight. You know, you see what it's done for the profile.
Exactly. Yeah. A heavyweight final at the Super Series at Wembley Stadium. Or maybe on the moon.
Yeah, maybe.
People are travelling up there now.
Yeah, well, we did Jeddah, obviously. You know, there's a bit of frustration, obviously, in terms of the UK fans, obviously not being able to go. But you know, right, I get your point in terms of, you know, the Champions League of boxing. You know, obviously we had the Champions League final this year in Moscow, so it's the same sort of theory, isn't it, really? But obviously, you know, we just touched on you know, the Bellew Usyk fight. What's sort of your opinion on that fight, and how do you see sort of Bellew faring in that one?
Answer this question. For me, it's You know, I know Dave and I know Tony very well. Great people. Dave's a great trainer. I've bet against Tony twice. I think Masternak fight against, and also when he fought against.
Hey, so
no, against Makabu.
Makabu. That was good to Park, yeah.
So I find it hard to bet against him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I look at Usyk and he, you know, he's, if you want to describe boxing as beautiful, that is beauty, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a hard. I can't call it. I don't want to call it.
He's an amazing character as well. Usyk, isn't he? Just in terms, you know, he's a very.
Both guys are great guys, you know. So it's for me, it's I'll just enjoy watching it at home on my. Oh no, I think I have a fight that night.
You better get to that,
I will watch it from somewhere.
From
somewhere, definitely.
And if say hypothetically, right, Bellew wins that fight, and I was talking about retiring, and I've asked this question to a couple of people because I'm interested in sort of the mindset of, you know, where he sort of kicks on from this. Now I think Bellew wins that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, you know, he's sort of in the pay-per-view ranks at the minute, without a doubt.
Yeah.
If he wins that, he becomes a pay-per-view star in his own right. Where what I mean is he doesn't need a dancing partner to have a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah.
Can he retire off the back of a potential victory against Usyk with that sort of status? Because that's the talk he's saying now. This is my last fight, and that's me done. Listen,
if he beats Usyk, I would, you know, then I would, you know, if I was him, you know, I wouldn't hang up my gloves. But you can't, you know what? At the end of the day, you can't advise a fighter. He's putting his, you know, his life on the line in the ring. But if I was him and I beat Usyk, I would realise I'm still on top of my game. Because Usyk's for me number 1, 2, or 3 of the pound for pound in the world. It's a hard one to, you know, it's quite a hypothetical question. But I would, if I put myself in his shoes, I'd probably carry on.
That's it.
But at the same time, I don't see there as being. I think it's hard to just be a pay-per-view fighter at the moment. I think you need to have a dance partner. I think people are quite spoiled with the action at the moment in a good way. You know, it's great for boxing, it's booming, but it needs to be a special fight for people to buy it. So listen, but Bellew against Dillian White, I don't know.
Again, you know what I mean? Some huge fights there, isn't there? So and even Usyk's talking about going up into the heavyweights as well. So again, some more great opportunities there. I just want to talk a little bit about, obviously, you know, why we're here today. It says Josh Taylor, obviously performing in Glasgow in 3 weeks' time, or 2 weeks on Saturday. How are you fancying his chances in the tournament? You know, it seems obviously from Barry McGuigan and yourself very confident, and one of the favourites of the tournament.
I think he's definitely one of the favourites of the tournament. But you know, but boxing's always, you know, you never know what's going to happen in the next round. You know, I don't know much about this Ryan Martin. I've seen him fight a little bit, and he's a very composed kid. He seems very confident in himself.
They do seem confident, actually. I've seen a few things,
so
obviously, from their side.
I don't know how to read into it, but I've seen Josh as well, and he's one of the best talents in this country. So, you know, with all his fans behind him. You know, it's going to be a big ask of Martin, but you know, like I said, it's boxing.
I think one of the advantages for Josh as well is obviously with such a decorated amateur career, travelling the world, and with the format of your tournament being essentially travelling around different places. Obviously, you know, this is Glasgow, not too far from where he's based, or was brought up, sorry. But obviously, in terms of the travelling around, it will probably suit him actually with his amateur pedigree. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, anyone with an amateur pedigree fighting away from home is a lot easier than just being, you know, not having 10, 15 amateur fights or whatever. He's actually travelled around the world, like you say, so it will definitely make it easier to climatise, to sleeping out of a hotel room. You know, I know what it's like. I go away and I'm fucking eating burgers and whatever else. You know, if I'm at home, I know how to prepare my food. But if you're an amateur and you know how to cut weight and make weight when you're on the road, of course it helps you a lot. And it's caused a few fighters out in the past, hasn't it? Particularly weight and preparation and everything. So absolutely, it's
getting the right scales. That's getting the fight scales. You know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, listen, you know, Nisse Sauerland, thanks for having us down today. So really looking forward to the show in a couple of weeks. And good luck with the whole series. And looking forward to the future. Thanks, mate. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, mate.